reminding everyone to settle down as we are about to start the program in about a minute. May we request everyone to please rename yourselves with your section and name. The sample format will be sent in the chat box.
Before we begin our program, we'd like to recognize and thank our sponsors that made this event possible. Again, we'd like to recognize and thank our sponsors that made this event possible. The Floor Cafe,
Tamarao MD,
De Niro Steakhouse,
and At the Joy's Kitchen. Reminding everyone to please settle down as we are about to start the program in more or less a few minutes. May we request everyone to please rename yourselves with your section and name. The sample will be sent in the chat box.
But before we begin, we'd like to recognize and thank our sponsors that made this event possible. Le Fleur Cafe,
Tamarao MD,
De Niro Steakhouse,
and At the Joy's Kitchen. As we begin our program, be sure to accomplish the G-form attendance via the QR code flashed on the screen. Also, be aware that all data gathered by this form are considered confidential and will only be used for the purposes of verification.
Again, as we begin our program, be sure to accomplish the G-form attendance by the QR code flashed on the screen. And also, be aware that all data gathered by this form are considered confidential and will only be used for the purposes of verification.
Reminding everyone to settle down as we are about to start the program in about a minute. May we request everyone to please rename yourselves with your section and name. In order to be recognized, you never know when you'll need it. The sample format will be sent in the chat box.
And as we begin our program, be sure to accomplish the G-form attendance via the QR code flashed on the screen. Also, be aware that all data gathered by this form are considered confidential and will only be used for the purposes of verification.
All right, Freshies, in case you haven't heard yet, we, the Medicine Student Council, has brought to you today our virtual guidebook. Ayan, you can see on your screens the QR code that will navigate you to that guidebook. This will also be sent to our Telegram channel, so make sure to subscribe to that channel in order to not miss out on any important announcements. Links will be provided on the chat box.
Ayan, so guys, please, no, please make sure that you are subscribed to that Telegram channel of your Medicine Student Council in order for you to not miss out on any important announcements. The link or the links will be provided on the chat box.
Good morning to our newest members of the Astra family. I'm Isa, your MSc auditor.
And I am Mark, your MSc External Vice President.
And we would like to welcome all of you to
Anavo, a fresh start, the FEU-NRMF Freshman Orientation 2021.
Mark,
Oh,
alam mo bang marami tayong pasabog today?
actually, hindi ko alam. Pwede bang kahit bigyan mo ko ng konting orientation about our prizes?
All right, guys, thanks to our sponsors, we have some special giveaways. At meron pang mga prizes for later. And one of these include a drip coffee set from La Flor Cafe and a limited edition shirt from Tamarao MD. That's right.
Okay, ulitin ko lang a drip coffee set, no, from one of our sponsors, which is
La Flor Cafe.
Okay, and a limited edition t-shirt. Bakit ba ginawa itong limited edition t-shirt from Tamaro MD?
Kasi para sa freshmen natin, this is our way of welcoming them.
Dahil dito lang sa event na to?
Yes, that's right.
Wow! So guys, please make sure na lahat ng links na ibibigay namin sa inyo, please do accomplish it.
Okay, so let's move on. Dear students, this is a privacy notice from our data protection officer. Fellow students, we respect your right to privacy. In connection with our orientation today, please be informed that we are recording the event for documentation purposes. Under the Data Privacy Act of 2012, you have your rights of the data subject, right to be informed, to object, to access, to rectification, to data portability, and to file a complaint. If you wish to exercise any of these rights, you may contact our data protection officer at 989-383-38, local 3614, or 0998-918-0467.
Again, if you wish to exercise any of these rights, you may contact our data protection officer at 989-38338, local 3614, or 0998-918-0467.
To officially begin our program, may I now call on Mr. Paulo Castro, our MSc Surgeon at Arms, to lead us into prayer, to be followed by our MSc Secretary Gold Cruz for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
The FEU prayer. Direct, O God, we beseech thee, all our actions by thy holy inspiration, and help them on by thy gracious assistance, so that every prayer and work of ours may begin with thee, and by thee happily ended. Amen.
May we request all the students to turn their videos on and render our utmost respect as we sing the Philippine National Anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang mag-ibig, tegas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Nanganganak tugok sa simoy at sa langit ang pagaw, ay tinatang tula at awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhaging pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
So, Isa, since we just finished the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, I just wanna ask, no? Gusto ko lang tanungin, nakapag-rehisto ka na ba?
Ng kotse? Oo, nung March pa.
No, Isa, sumasakit yung ulo ko sa'yo eh. Hindi yun. Registration for the 2022 elections.
Hindi pa siguro. Busy tayo eh. May compret tayo. Hindi ka nag-aaral, no?
Oy, grabe to. Nag-aaral ako, no? Nilalaglag mo na naman ako eh. Sige. Tingnan mo nga, katabi ng script natin yung trans ko sa pato. Sige. Pero yung totoo nga, nakapag-rehisto ka na ba?
Mark, of course. Di ba nga, one of our core values here in FEU-NRMF is nationalism. And what better way to practice that than by participating in relevant national events?
Wow! Big word! Core values. Core values talaga. Sige nga, ano pa ba yung mga ibang core values natin? Feel ko talaga, isa lang yung alam mo.
Ay, wag mo akong i-challenge. Alam ko yan lahat. I'll start off with F, fidelity.
Fidelity. Okay, dalawa na yung alam mo ha. Okay, start lang. Panimula ka lang ate. After ng F, E.
Endurance. Kasi mag-endure ka throughout med school.
Hindi yun endurance. Hindi yun endurance. Ano ka ba?
Kidding aside, no. We come out as excellent. So, E, excellent.
Okay, so tapos na tayo sa F, tapos na tayo sa E. So, U.
Universality.
Wow, may natututunan ka pala. Akala ko wala. Okay, so F, E, U, tapos yung N, nationalism, nasabi mo na kanina.
Yes.
So, after N, R.
Responsibility.
Wow, iba talaga tong partner ko ngayon. So after NRM.
Morally upright.
Wow, okay. Eto, last na. Believe na talaga ako sa'yo kapag alam mo pa tong last. Okay, ready ka na ba?
Ready.
Okay. FEU-NRMF. Anong F?
Ito pinaka-favorite ko sa lahat kasi I really felt this throughout my 3 years in FEU-NRMF. Family-oriented. And you know what? I think I'm turning out to be family-oriented throughout my experience thanks to the institution I'm in. So that being said, to formally welcome us in today's momentous event, let us all welcome an essential part of our family. Dahil family-oriented nga tayo, diba? The newly appointed Vice President for Academic Affairs of the FEU-NRMF, Ma'am, or Dr. Magdalena F. Natividad, Vice President for Academic Affairs, RMT, MSPH, PhD. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
A special welcome to those of you who are in this institution for the first time, and to our graduates in the undergraduate programs. Welcome to another stint at FEU-NRMF. Today marks the beginning of your journey at the FEU-NRMF to become a doctor of medicine. Thank you for entrusting FEU-NRMF to hone you and help you become skillful and respected doctors. We have incredibly talented faculty who will be your guides and allies in your exploration in the medical field. They are your greatest resource. I hope that you will quickly adjust to life here at FEU-NRMF, even if most of our classes will be conducted virtually because of the pandemic. I know it is challenging, but we have to adjust to the new normal. Start your school year with hopes and dreams that no matter how limited you might be, you will do your best to achieve what you call dreams. Our institution has trained competent and compassionate individuals who were prepared to join and compete in the professional world since 1952. Our School of Medicine is consistently recognized by the Professional Regulation Commission as a top-performing school of medicine, which might be one of the reasons why you chose FEU-NRMF. I know that you will also be proud to become alumni of FEU-NRMF someday. The pandemic should not stop you from pursuing your dreams. Always remember our mantra, ad astra per aspera, to the stars through hardship. Once again, welcome to FEU-NRMF. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that heartwarming message for our freshmen. So, di ba nga, Isa, it was mentioned earlier that she is newly appointed to this position. So, in a way, no, this is a fresh start to start a new chapter in her life. And it's actually nice to know, no, that the freshmen first heard from her. Don't you agree, Isa?
Absolutely, Mark. You know, attending this event brings back a lot of memories.
I know, right, Isa? But you know what I realized the most?
Yun.
Okay, sige ito. Time flies faster than we can think of. So, freshies, savor every ounce of memories in your medical journey.
Because in a blink of an eye, you'll find yourself just a step from the finish line. So FEU-NRMF wouldn't be the institution that it is today without our industrious and persevered administrators. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here today. All the more challenging when you're entrusted to oversee all engagements, both administrative and academic.
Yes, actually you're right, Isa. Hindi talaga madaling magpatakbo ng isang institusyon. Buti na lang we have these people we can count on. And on behalf of all of them, today we have our president who generously gave time to say a few words to our freshmen. So without further ado, the president of the Far Eastern University Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation, Attorney Antonio H. Abad Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the FEU Dr. Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation. Your arrival here at FEU-NRMF marks a new chapter in your life. I'm here to say a few introductory words about the intellectual adventure you are about to undertake. FEU-NRMF is one of the nation's leading private universities, offering medical courses from which you will choose to create for yourself an education that will open new worlds and new possibilities for yourself. Select the courses you will take this year. Choose a course in the field you love the most. Choose provocative classes that expose you to new ideas and alternative ways of thinking. That's what education is. FEU-NRMF's incredibly talented faculty will be your guide and allies in the course of your study. They are your greatest resource. The courses that you will take and the professors you will get will enliven your mental power and capacity. That is the reason why our university is teeming with scholars. I guarantee that the amount of change and growth of your mentality here in FEU-NRMF will be astonishing. At this point, I would like to share 3 pieces of advice for all of you. Number 1, take responsibility for your learning. Most of your learning and indeed your life has been very structured. But now you are entering a less structured environment of the university where you will have greater freedom and the responsibility that comes with that. Number 2, make the most of your time for FEU-NRMF. One of the great things about university life is the range of new experiences that will be available to you. You will have abundant opportunities to flourish as a student and as a person. Number 3, embrace difference. Get to know people who are different to you. By embracing difference, you will get a better understanding, both of yourself and those who are different to you. Knowing others and understanding others will help you develop into a tolerant individual. As an ending, I wish you success. For your success is the central mission of FEU-NRMF. Thank you, mabuhay, at maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you to our beloved President for that very moving message. Mark, alam mo, may sasabihin ako.
Ano yun, Isa?
Mukhang na-inspire ata ako mag-law.
Ano ka ba? Malapit na nga tayong graduate tapos biglang mag-shift ka ng course na naman.
O hindi naman mag-shift. No, extended studies.
Okay. So after medicine.
You never know.
Okay.
Pero,
Sobrang nakaka-inspire talaga, no?
Very,
Message.
very.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear again from our President. Sir, good morning po. Pero you know what, Mark? Bago tayo mag-law, bago tayo magpatuloy ng med, gusto ko munang kumain.
Kasi
Guys, nako, may pamigay tayong Grab vouchers.
Grab vouchers?
Yes, that's right. So in order to grab these vouchers, maybe call on some volunteers.
Yan.
May pa-icebreaker tayo
Pa-icebreaker
today.
tayo. Para alam mo, maunat-unat tayo, Isa. So, if may gusto mag-volunteer,
Please raise your hand or give us a heart or react. Can we call on anyone who'd like to volunteer?
going once?
Going twice.
Okay, so wala ata. So magtatawag tayo.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
So, Isa, do the honor.
Mamili tayo dito.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, here's a very beautiful name. All right. Miss Pamela Dian from 1A Mingrahal. Pamela Dean.
Hello po.
Mingrahal. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning po.
Welcome to FEU-NRMF. How are you today?
I'm okay po.
Are you excited?
How about you po? Yes po.
Yeah.
Thank you
We're
for
good.
asking. Very good.
Mark feels
Actually-
great today kasi kasama niya ako.
No, actually, ang dami naming energy ngayon, no? Kasi gusto naming mapabuti or mapasaya kayo sa araw na ito. Kayong especially, no? Kayong freshies.
Pero yung totoo talaga, nagpapaka-freshy din lang kami.
Yes. So for this segment, okay lang bang mag-ask kami ng question sa'yo?
Yes po.
Okay. So for our first question, excited ka na ba or kinakabahan ka?
Kinakabahan po.
Okay, kinakabahan. So for our first question, why did you choose medicine?
I chose medicine po kasi it's my childhood dream po actually. Since I was a kid po, pangarap ko na po maging doctor and now nakaka-proud po sabihin na nandito na po ako, natutupad na po yung pangarap ko.
Very inspiring, di ba?
Alam mo kung anong mas nakaka-proud? Na you are a medicine student of FEU-NRMF.
Tama ka dyan. Ang galing ha. Galing na. Singit mo yun. Nakaka-proud talaga. So for our second question, okay lang ba magtanong pa?
Yes po.
Okay, pili ka ng subject. Physio, biochemistry,
Next question, please.
My next question, pang second year.
Okay.
Biro
Okay.
lang, biro lang.
So again, the question is,
What are you most looking forward to in your stay here at FEU-NRMF?
I am excited po na ma-enhance po lalo yung skills ko and to meet new set of people po.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Have you met some of your blockmates already?
Yes po, actually po last night we had our first class meeting po. Shoutout po sa 1A.
Wow. Okay, very active ang 1A ngayon, ah.
Share ko lang,
Yes.
Mark was actually 1A.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And susunod ka sa'yo pa ako, maging EVP ka din.
Di ba? Di ba?
Okay, so ano yan? Ano lang, joke lang. Ayan. So for our last question, very, ano lang tayo, medyo magmamadali tayo. Okay na ba? So ask ko lang if ano yung undergrad degree mo?
Actually, hindi pa po ako graduate. Officially, I'm currently taking up medical biology po from LaSalle, Las Marinas po.
Oh, okay.
She a South girl.
Yeah. Okay, so congratulations, no? Ayan.
Thank you po.
Okay, so Madam Secretary, are you there? Or Madam Treasurer.
Madam Treasurer.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, so Miss Pamela, can you kindly please chat our MC Treasurer to claim your prize?
Okay po.
Hi, thank you so much.
Thank
Pamela.
you.
Being Rahal from 1A. All right, again, guys, so now for those who haven't filled out the attendance form, please do so now in order to not miss out on our surprises. The link, or the QR code rather, is flashed on your screens. So for those here today, kung may mga humahabol pa na freshmen, kindly take a photo and help out your blockmates and friends. Ayan, isan nyo na lang sa kanila rin yung QR code so that they can follow through with the attendance. Para may chance din sila manalo.
Yes, actually, you're right, Isa. And baka meron din pa kayong mga friends na, alam niyo yung patulog-tulog kasi napasarap ng Netflix kagabi kasi wala pang or hindi pa nag-start yung classes, no? So remind them the Zoom link na we are starting the event. Ayan. So Isa, ask ko lang, excited ka na bang ma-orient yung mga freshies?
Oo naman, it is about time. I'm sure that the freshies are also psyched to begin their journey.
Okay, so to walk us through this year's orientation proper, let us call on the man who leads the School of Medicine, our dean, our beloved Dean Dr. Reyes H. De Los Reyes, MD, FPOGS, MHSA, DBA.
Good morning, everyone. So again, welcome to FEU-NRMF School of Medicine. We are happy and honored that you have chosen our school in fulfilling your dream of becoming a doctor. The quality of medical education that we offer can be gleaned from the performance of our graduates and the physician licensure examinations. We are always among the top, if not the top performing school. In the last March 2021 physician licensure examination, our graduates garnered 3 places in the top 10. We even have a graduate who was the top performer in that March 2021 performance physician licensure examination. With us are among the best faculty in medical education. With the support of the administration and the faculty, we always strive and give our best to mold an FEU-NRMF medicine graduate who is a person-centered physician, ethical, competent and resourceful, exuding humility, resilience, compassion, and selflessness in meeting the needs of our patients, the family, and the community. So I hope that your stay with us will be fruitful and you will be able to realize your dream of becoming a doctor. So let me now proceed to the orientation of our new students in the School of Medicine. This is the outline of my presentation this morning. So let's start with the history of the School of Medicine of FEU-NRMF. So the Institute of Medicine of the Far Eastern University was opened in 1952. In 1955, the hospital became operational, and we had our first graduate in 1957. Subsequently, in 1960, the School of Medical Technology was established under the Institute of Medicine. In 1971, or 50 years ago, the Institute of Medicine became the Far Eastern University Nicanor Reyes Medical Foundation. So it is a separate entity from the Institute of Medicine of Far Eastern University. Subsequently, other schools under the Institute of Medicine of FEU-NRMF were established, like the School of Physical Therapy in 1996. And then we were relocated from Moraita in Manila to Quezon City, Fairview, in 1999. And here, in 2003, the School of Nursing was started. Subsequently, in 2009, the School of Physical Therapy was opened. And in 2013, the Schools of Pharmacy, Nutrition and Dietetics, and Radiologic Technology. And in 2016, in response to the new Department of Education curriculum, the senior high school was also started here at FEU-NRMF. So let me now share with you the authorities or the Board of Trustees of FEU-NRMF. So the chairman of the board is Mr. Nicanor C. Reyes III. The vice chairman of the board is Mr. Enrique Robert C. Reyes. And you meet earlier our president, Attorney Antonio H. Abad Jr., and our vice president for academic affairs, Dr. Magdalena Natividad. Yours truly is the Dean of the School of Medicine, and the Vice Dean is Dr. Abigail L.C. Castro. The vision of the School of Medicine of FEU-NRMF is to be in the forefront of innovative and socially responsive medical education, service, and research, adherent to the highest ethical and professional standards. Our mission: we commit to implement quality, innovative, outcome-based medical curriculum relevant in the 21st century, provide a learning environment that nurtures critical thinking, creativity, and capacity building for stakeholders, generate new knowledge and technology through collaborative, scholarly, and socially relevant research, engage in needs-based community programs aligned with applicable standards, policies, and laws, and cultivate a culture of social accountability, service, and professionalism. So these are the core values of our institution, which has been mentioned by our MCs already. So just to reiterate, these are fidelity, excellence, universality, nationalism, responsibility, morally upright, and family-oriented. So we aim our graduates, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, that the FEU-NRMF graduate is a person-centered physician who is ethically competent and resourceful, exuding humility, resilience, compassion, and selflessness in meeting the needs of the patient, family, and community. So the course of medicine in FEU-NRMF is a 4-year program that has been granted Level 2 accreditation by the Philippine Accrediting Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities in 2015, and we were re-accredited in 2018. English is our medium of instruction, and although the curriculum is traditional in structure, there is horizontal and vertical integration with student-centered learning. The 4th year of our program, which is called the clinical clerkship, is 12 months in duration and allows for 30 days or 1-month rotation as an elective that may be taken inside or outside of our institution. Before the pandemic, we even have what we call a global rotation, where we allow our students to rotate in hospitals abroad, particularly in the United States, Japan, and Australia. We hope that with the when we face-to-face is allowed again, then maybe we can allow our graduates to have a global rotation again. So starting in the school year 2021 and 2022, and that is supposed to be this year, we intend to implement the blended learning approach. It is a combination of distance learning using technology and face-to-face classes. So this includes synchronous and asynchronous strategies. So usually lectures, SGDs, case discussions, and conferences will be conducted through online classes, which are recorded and may be uploaded to Moodle, our learning management system, which may be accessed by our students at their convenient time. The laboratory procedures and skills training will be done face-to-face once allowed by CHED and IATF, where minimum health standards will be strictly enforced. In the event that face-to-face classes is not allowed, like now, right now there is a surge in the Delta variant of COVID, the school is also prepared to deliver laboratory procedures and skills training through its equivalent online simulation and modules. Most examinations will be online and will be announced by the faculty or the department concerned. And mind you, our major examination are Zoom proctored. Practical, OSCE, and OSPE will be conducted in either online or face-to-face once we are allowed by CHED and IATF. Students must wear their year-level uniform while attending classes online with camera open and name, year level, and section is indicated. Attendance is checked. At the start of the school year, students may wear decent white-collared shirt or blouse, usually in the first 2 weeks from the opening of classes. So once we are allowed by CHED, DOH, IATF, and CHED during face-to-face classes, then students should wear the designated year-level uniform, proper ID, the necessary PPE, and should observe the minimum health standards while they are in campus. So these are the schedule of our classes, particularly in this school year 2021-2022. So first, second, and third year, the first semester starts in August and it ends in December. And the second semester starts in January, usually in the first Monday of January, up to the second or third week of May. So that covers our first year and second year students. So here in FEU-NRMF, as mentioned by our president earlier, we also offer scholarships. So for those of you who are coming in with Latin honors, then you have benefit of either full discount, 100% discount in tuition fee if you graduated summa cum laude, 75 discount on tuition if you graduated magna cum laude, and 50% discount in tuition if you graduated cum laude. So you should present the proper documents to prove that you graduated with these Latin honors. When you are already with us, then we also grant academic scholars or academic scholarship. For those of you who will attain a grade of 1 to 1.5, then there is a 100% discount on your tuition. There is a cutoff grade, however, that if you have the full scholar, then you should have a grade not lower than 1.75. If you have a grade of 1.51 to 175, then you will be enjoying a 50% discount or what you call partial scholarship. In that criteria, then you should have a grade not lower than 2. Our alumni scholars in the United States under the FEU Dr. Nicanor Reyes School of Medicine Medical Alumni Society also offers scholarships. So the full scholar is 100, also free tuition, including miscellaneous fees. Partial scholars will be 50% discount on tuition fees. Plus, of course, they have a book allowance that's about $500. We also have what we call financial need-based grants for our financially challenged students starting from the second, third, and fourth year. Again, this is supported by our US alumni groups. Although our local alumni also offer assistance for our students who may need assistance for financial reasons. So for the US Alumni Scholarship, the criteria is that you should have an INMAT score of 90 and above. You should have graduated with Latin honors, at least cum laude. And if you are a board placer, you may also be able to apply. So these are the benefits that can be given by our US alumni. So full or partial scholarship, miscellaneous are covered, semestral allowances, I mentioned about book allowances, that includes, that's a total about $600. So in recognition of our scholars, we have what we call Scholars Recognition Ceremony. So it covers the full academic scholars, the partial academic scholars, the entrance scholars on the first semester, and it is given every semester. So usually in the first semester, the recognition is done during the Medicine Week celebration, and in the second semester, the recognition is done during the Foundation Week celebration, which usually falls on the third week of January during our Alumni Homecoming and Foundation Week celebration. The US alumni also gives what we call Student Achievement Awards. So these are given to students who excel academically in the first, second, and third year subjects, particularly if they are the top one in their batch. So there is this is associated with the CAS Award. This is also given during the Foundation Week celebration and Alumni Homecoming in the third week of January. We hope that we will be able to celebrate again our Alumni Homecoming starting this coming January, so that we can all again bestow these awards that I have mentioned. So after you have graduated or you have finished your course here in FEU-NRMF, we also offer or recognize academic awards to our graduates. So as mentioned earlier, this is computed on the base of your grades earned from first year to third year. So if your average grade from first year to third year is 1 to 1.25, without a grade lower than 1.75, then you will be given an award as a graduate with summa cum laude, which is the highest honor that we bestow. If your average grade or general weighted average is 1.26 to 1.5 without a grade lower than 1.75, then you will be awarded with magna cum laude. And if your average grade is 1.51 to 1.75 without a grade lower than 2, then you will be recognized cum laude. All of these awards, however, the moral character, conduct, integrity, and reputation of the candidate must be beyond reproach. So we also give other awards like the Ricardo Alfonso Award as the most outstanding clinical clerk, the Rolando Solis Award, Excellence in Cardiology, the Dr. Lauro Panganiban Award, Exemplary Leadership. We also recognize the most outstanding graduate. Usually this is the #1 in the batch. And the most outstanding student in surgery. So the most outstanding student in surgery, the most outstanding graduate, the Rolando Solis Award are only bestowed during graduation of regular graduates. So let me now present to you your professors in the first year. So let's start with the Department of Physiology. So we'll be handling the Physiology A and B. So the chairman of the department is Dr. Gloria Marie Valerio. And these are your other faculty members, Dr. Villa, Dr. Barbon, Dr. Cruz, Dr. Magpale, Dr. Nang Baloloy, and Dr. Gamboa, Dr. Mendoza, Dr. Tan, Dr. Olivar, and Dr. Paat. Under the Department of Human Structural Biology, who will be handling gross human structural biology and microscopic human structural biology. It is headed by Dr. Grace Bardelosa. And we have our Medical Center Chief or Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Nolan Pecho, who is only teaching in the Department of Human Structural Biology. Dr. Dimagiba Dalisay, Dr. Isidro Bodlasa, Dr. Viloria, Dr. Vivar, Dr. Bravo, Dr. Matthews, Dr. Valera, Dr. Banyes, Dr. Bea, Dr. Gomez, Dr. Cruz, another Dr. Cruz, the sister, Dr. Alcantara, Dr. Cruz Lucas, Dr. Hiron, and Dr. Capulong. So you will see that from the different departments that they are not only teachers in basic courses or subjects in medicine, but they are also specialists or subspecialists in their field. So under the Department of Biochemistry, the department chair is Dr. Marianne B. Bringas, and the faculty are Dr. Santos, Dr. Habate, Dr. Alenzuela, Dr. Gabaldon Asis, Dr. Biliran, Dr. Bravo, Dr. Alcantara, Dr. Asis, and Dr. Hiron. Under the Department of Internal Medicine, they will be handling in the first year Introduction to Physical Diagnosis and Behavioral Science. So the head or the department chair is Dr. Joyce Humangit, and the faculty includes Dr. Bermudez, Dr. Vencio, Dr. Reyes, Dr. Daet, Dr. Chong, Dr. Panganiban, Dr. Perez, Dr. Cuadro, Dr. De Castro, Dr. Santiago. The Department of Community and Family Medicine handles the community and family medicine, bioethics, and research. So this is headed by the department chair, Dr. Milagros Neri. The faculty members include our former Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Polichua Chan. We have Dr. Samaniego, Dr. Rian Dilar, Dr. Naldo, Dr. Panaga, Dr. Liu, Dr. Daniega, and our former Chief Medical Officer or Medical Director, Dr. Policarpio Hoves, Dr. Flores. We have Dr. Opinatan and Dr. Manalo, Dr. Chun, Dr. Nunez, Dr. Escritor, Dr. Santa Maria, Dr. Agustin, and Dr. Mangalabnan. The Department of Radiology will also be handling normal radiology. So it is headed by Dr. Lina Flavia Pipo. The faculty includes Dr. Mendoza, the Dean of the School of Radiologic Technology. We have Dr. Ridor, Dr. Latang, among the faculty members in that department. So let me now share with you the student services that we offer here at FEU-NRMF. So of course, I hope that you are already familiar with the registrar's office. Our registrar is Miss Anne Margaret Santos. So all the academic records of our students from admission to graduation will be under this the registrar's office. Then of course we have the Nicanor Reyes Junior Medical Library. This will be further elucidated later by our Chief Librarian, Mrs. Erwina Meneses. Then we have CyberMed, where our students are allowed to use computers with internet connections so that you can make your reports and papers and assignments with our CyberMed if we are already allowed to open with face-to-face classes. So we also have, I think it's very important for you to know that most of the activities that we are also having today is being coordinated with the student personnel services. So this department provides, or section provides, general assistance and aims for the total development and care of our students. Our SPS officer is Mrs. Rodora Santa Ana. Then we have the Student Affairs Office, which supervises the implementation of the Student Code of Conduct and the foundation policies and recommend appropriate disciplinary action. It is headed by Mrs. Consumercia Bacon, and I hope that you will not have to be investigated by Mrs. Bacon. We have also our guidance and counseling services. So it is headed by Ms. Ria Ramos. So our services in this section are designed to meet all the aspects of human development and adjustment through a carefully planned guidance program. So if you want to consult our guidance counselor, then we have our guidance. We just drop by at our guidance counseling office. Of course, we have health services offered. So students are entitled to health and hospitalization privileges. It is not totally free, but it is discounted. So the head of the primary care service, where our health service falls under, is Dr. Rene Mendoza, who is also our chief of clinics. We recognize the importance of mentoring, and that is why we established our mentoring program. So there is what we call the FEU-NRMF Mentoring Council. It is done on voluntary basis. So any student can signify their intention to be mentored. And we have a group of mentors, which is being headed by our mentoring coordinator, Dr. Jessica Ona Cruz. So this section aims to develop strategies in dealing with the academic issues of our students, particularly on their adjustment in the School of Medicine, the way we study and their personal skills, and gain practical advice, encouragement, and support in the adjustment of your adjustment in the medical school. So please join our mentoring program, and you can be well coordinate with activities with Dr. Jessica Ona Cruz. So we also have a school publication. So the official school paper is what we call Internonsyo. So it is a combined effort of writers from various schools. We have 8 schools or 8 programs under the foundation. So I hope that you will be able to, also those of you who have these literary skills can join and participate in the official school paper, which is Internonsyo. Before the pandemic, we also have a good food service areas. So we have actually 2 floors, the 5th and the 6th floor of our Institute of Medicine building. So we have an arcade also in the hospital. However, temporarily they are not available. Campus ministry is also being available, is all available. So there are student organizations that also encourages participation in campus ministries. We have a school store, which is located at the lower ground level, where you can buy your textbooks, manuals, and supplies, uniforms, and school paraphernalia, even includes our PPE. So this will be made available when face-to-face classes will be allowed. Of course, I will strongly encourage you to participate in the student organization. The student council will elaborate on the different student organization that we have. I would like to emphasize that fraternities are not allowed in this institution, but we strongly encourage you to join our different recognized student organizations.
Sir, sorry to interrupt po. Nag-freeze po ating screen.
Hindi daw gumagalaw yung slide mo.
Ba't sa akin gumagalaw siya? Nag-move ang slide ko sa akin.
Hannah, can you show the set of slides na lang? Ikaw na lang mag-share. Tapos mag-next na lang si Dean.
Nasaan na siya, Robert? Diyan sa slide niyo.
Sir, nasa student services pa rin po, sir. Kay Ma'am Dan po.
Okay, so unshare ko siya.
Apo, sir. I think Hannah has a duplicate set naman po.
Okay.
Start po ba sa student orgs po?
Sige, can you, hindi,
Student services.
student services na lang, Hannah, please.
So let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. Yung
So
student service.
Okay. The registrar's office, as I mentioned, our registrar is Miss Anne Margaret Santos. So all the records are in the registrar's office. So please complete your records and submit your transcript of records and all documents to the registrar's office. Next slide. The library, as I mentioned, we have very equipped, well-funded library. It is found on the 12th and the 14th floor of the Nicanor Reyes building, and at the lower ground of the Institute of Medicine building. So this will be the facilities offered by our library will be further explained by our Chief Librarian, Mrs. Erwina Meneses, later. Next. So CyberMed. So we have also this is found in the library. So it will be available once face-to-face classes is allowed. Next slide. Okay, so I mentioned that it is very important for you to be acquainted with the student personal services, because they handle or provide assistance to all our students. Okay, so this is headed by Mrs. Rodora Santa Ana. She is part in the preparation of our activities this morning. Student Affairs Office, this is headed by Mrs. Consumarcia Bacon, and this supervises the implementation of the Student Code of Conduct and the Foundation policies, and recommend appropriate disciplinary action for any violations of our policies. So I hope that nobody will be investigated by Mrs. Bacon. So will not reach the office. So we also offer health services, as I mentioned. So there is a certain discount that is offered based on the health and dental services that you can avail. So the chair of the primary care service is our chief of clinics, Dr. Rene Mendoza. Next. Okay, guidance and counseling. So to meet your adjustment to our medical school, then maybe it is important for you to also seek the guidance of our guidance counselor, headed by our chair, Ms. Ria Ramos. Next. Okay, I mentioned this. So we have a mentoring program. So we have organized an FEU-NRMF mentoring council, headed by our mentoring coordinator, Dr. Jessica Ona Cruz. This is on voluntary basis. Okay, so if you feel that you need mentoring, please approach Dr. Jessica Ona Cruz. So they develop strategies to gain practical advice, encouragement, and support during your stay, during your adjustment period in our medical school. Next slide. So publication, as I mentioned, we encourage those who have literary skills to join our student publication. The official student school paper is Internuncio. I hope that there will be more active participation in the student paper this coming school year, so that we can come up with different activities in the school through our official school paper, the Internuncio. Next slide. So food services are available, as mentioned. Before the pandemic, we have 2 floors. This is at the 5th and the 6th floor of the Institute of Medicine building. However, currently, it is not available, but I'm sure will be made available when face-to-face classes is already allowed. Next slide. So campus ministry, so student Catholic action and other religious activities are going on. And there are organizations that also, student organizations that also covers campus ministry activities. So please join our student service campus ministry activities. Next slide. Yeah, the school store is located at the lower ground level, where you can buy your textbooks, your supplies, school supplies, uniforms, paraphernalia included. When the face-to-face classes is allowed, PPEs will also be available at our school store. Next. And the student organization. As I mentioned previously, we have a lot of student organization. This is under and always under the supervision as well of our Medicine Student Council. So I hope that you will join them. I think they will be presenting this today and later this afternoon. So your participation will be highly appreciated. And just to reiterate, I mentioned earlier that fraternities are not allowed in our institution. We recognize the activities of our student organization rather than fraternities. Next slide. So our activities this morning, the orientation of freshmen students is also assessed by our Medicine Student Council, headed by our president, Mr. Troy Alde, and the advisors, Dr. De Matera, Dr. Bringas, and Dr. Tamesis. So thank you very much. I think this is my last slide. No, this is the student handbook. It will be available on the student portal. So I hope that you will read on the student handbook and the bulletin of information so that you are more or less aware of the different policies that our school has developed for proper implementation of the educational activities, as well as observance of order and direction in our school. So I think that is my last slide. So thank you very much. I would also like to thank our faculty members who are present this morning. Thank you for joining us and the freshman orientation for this year. So to our incoming freshmen, again, welcome to FEU-NRMF. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you, Dean, for that very informative orientation. Maraming salamat po. So, freshies, take that by heart.
So one of the things we've prepared for you today is a short video of, think of it as like a virtual tour of our campus. So tech team. so thank you, Dean, for again that very informative orientation, and of course to our tech team for being so prepared, especially with that video. Ayan, buti hindi nasama yung katwa ko dun sa video.
Actually, totoo kay Lisa, nung binavideo namin yan, medyo, alam niyo yung Miss
Nagkasiyahan
Universe
din.
natin. Yan, nagkasiyahan kami.
Yeah,
Okay?
so again, let us not forget to recognize the groups that made this event possible with the Medicine Student Council. We are grateful for your gifts in kind.
Again, maraming salamat po sa ating mga sponsors. The Floor Cafe,
Tamarao MD,
De Niro Steakhouse,
and Ate Joy's Kitchen. That being said, here is a short video from one of our sponsors, Le Fleur Cafe.
and also, wag nating kakalimutan yung mga prize or yung prize natin na dapat abangan ng ating mga freshies. Tama ba? Ano ba yun, Isa?
As you can see here, freshies flashed on the screen is the limited edition shirt. In fact, it's called the Anavo, which is very suited for our event today. So again, this is limited edition. Thank you, Tamarao MD, for providing this for us and this gift in kind. So, you know, Mark, ang dami nating gifts, no? Ang saya-saya.
Yeah, and sobrang generous ng ating Medicine Student Council this year.
Pero, you know, the sad thing about it, we all know we're in a bubble of a pandemic, and that not only cost us our gala moments, but mostly affected our physical classes. How are we able to make it this far? You know, if it weren't for our online committee, our library team, and guidance counselors who continuously and meticulously ensure that our online experience is just as worth this while, we would be goners, nomads, or probably even nobodies.
Ay, oration yarn.
Ano ba? I'm having a moment. COVID took as much from me as it did from me, but here we are still charging through.
Actually, you're right, Isa. And who do we have to thank? None other than our online committee, headed by Dr. Robert D. Let's lend an ear as he orients us to our online platform, Moodle. A round of applause, please.
Right. So good morning, everyone. Hannah, can you turn off the screen, please? For the participants, kindly go into speaker view. So I won't be sharing my screen. So you have to do speaker view to see my slides right now. All right. So good morning, everyone. So I'm Dr. Robert Lee. I'm the department chair for otolaryngology, head and neck surgery. I'm also the chair for the online learning committee for the School of Medicine. So to start off, I would want you to, once you have this, so I just like to orient you with your Moodle courses. So your Moodle, it's accessible by typing in HTTPS. So that's important. You have to add the S, then ://moodle.feu-nrmf.ph. You can also type in instead of .ph.edu.ph. You would be logged in as well. And once you enter your Moodle course, you'll be able to see your different Moodle courses that you are enrolled in. One be the Learning Moodle for Students. Okay, so it's this one. So once you would see your course overview, you can hover through it and look at Moodle courses that you are enrolled in. So let's open the Learning Moodle for Students. So once you click on it, you would see the particular Moodle course. Okay, so it would contain the primer. Okay, so we'll be tackling that in a bit. You would also see, let's say, any orientations and simulations. The links will be the mission, the vision, some reminders for proper ear care since most of us are online. Even what the dean already mentioned, the bulletin of information for the School of Medicine, as well as the student handbook. Okay, so you can find it in your Learn Moodle for Students course. Now let's open the student 2021. Okay, so it's here. So you can, it's basically a course book. You would have the table of contents here. Actually, let me hide my. Okay, so you would see the table of contents. It's here already. So you can just click on it and read through the different contents. But let's tackle a few items, okay? Okay, so how to prepare for an online activity. Now, we recommend your internet bandwidth should be at least 2 to 5 Mbps. You really have to ask your family or your household, especially if you're at home, uh, that you have a scheduled online activity so that you can maximize your internet connection. Mahirap naman na nag-lecture ka, you're attending a lecture or you're taking an exam tapos biglang magda-drop yung internet connection mo kasi may nanonood ng hospital playlist sa Netflix. So, may hihirapan ka. So, you really have to maximize. You should be in proper uniform when attending an online activity. But though, wala pa kaming uniform. So if you don't have your uniforms yet, you can just wear a white colored shirt or a blouse, and preferably you should be wearing pants or a skirt. Okay, I know hindi naman nakikita yung bottom half, but there are some activities that you might be asked to stand up. So just to prevent any embarrassments now, we do encourage you when you're taking an online activity to wear pants or a skirt, especially during exams. Now, a laptop is ideal because of the bigger screen space. In some instances, you can use a tablet, but for mobile phones, these are recommended as Zoom proctoring devices. I'll go through that later on. Now, for compatibility, we suggest that you use Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Mozilla Firefox as your browsers, especially those using Macs. Sometimes make compatibility issues if you're using Safari for Macs. Okay, so to have a more reliable connection, you may also use a LAN cable to connect to your router, or have a particular router in the same room where you're taking your exam as much as possible. If you are using mobile data, please look for a location where the signal is strongest. Now, always keep your devices fully charged, your power banks handy in case of power outages. Now, in case of power or internet connection problems, you have to notify your faculty, okay, the department faculty in charge through the Moodle helpline group chat, which we are using the Telegram app. I'll guide you through that as well later on. Or you can send a text message through the FEU-NRMF helpline at 0917-672 623. So the easiest is either you screenshot this, or I already gave it to the student council so they can disseminate it to you. Just scan the QR code, then that will lead you to send an SMS. And the particular number for asking for help, for notifying the IT staff regarding your connection problems will be there. Okay, so we suggest that you install the text messaging app on your phone for access to your faculty proctors, to the IT staff, and even to the online learning committee. Okay, as much as we can, we try to answer your queries online through the app. But we do appreciate and we do encourage that you kindly observe office hours. But sometimes we do entertain, but siguro not to extend beyond 10 o'clock naman po. Alright? Or minsan kasi nagkakaroon ng messages like 12 midnight or 1 a.m. Alright? So kindly limit your messages, especially if it's in for the group chat. Okay? Let's go to the next item. Proper online conferencing etiquette. Okay? So you have to have a well-lit, quiet space where the class is going to happen. So imagine mo, you're still in class, so it has to be quiet. We recommend the use of headsets for a good audio quality. And you have to make sure that you're muted when you're not talking. Yeah, especially sometimes lang may kumakausap sa inyo, or you have to be careful, you have to be aware whether you're muted. You try to reduce any ambient noise in your surroundings, like having the TV on, the radio on, dogs or other family members shouting out you or asking you to go down. You have to make sure that an electric fan or the air conditioning unit is not blowing directly on your microphones. Okay, because this will be picked up. You'll be surprised on how sensitive your microphones will be, and this will be picked up as annoying noise during your Zoom meeting. You have to be yourself, and although you have to respect others, you can ask questions using chat, or you can raise your hand, either by literally raising your right hand, or you can click on the reaction button to raise the hand. So you would see it about at the bottom of your screen, and you can click raise hand. Okay, so you would see that already. Okay, so I'll lower it down again. Now, as we you have to think before you write, okay, and again, you should be in proper uniform. Okay, you have to be mindful on what's behind you, especially lalo na kung merong mga personal items na nakahang in your room. So you have to be careful, you have to be aware of it. During sometimes during online classes, we would allow you to use virtual backgrounds, but during Zoom proctored exams, virtual backgrounds are not allowed. Okay. The student council was very efficient in asking your name already, your Zoom display name. So it should be your section, uh, immediately followed by a dash. There should be no spaces before and after that dash. This would be immediately followed by your surname, comma, then your first name. This is so that your faculty members can properly identify you, and even during Zoom proctored exams, you will be alphabetically arranged by section. Okay, so the next step will be, let's get back here. So the next step will be your portal. Right? Now your student portal, I know some of you have already logged in already to your student portal. So when do you get your student portal? Once you're officially enrolled, you will be given your student ID number. Okay, this will serve as your username, and by default, the password that you use for your admissions portal will be your initial password. So we do suggest that you change your password. Okay, so your student portal, you can log in at https://students.feu-nrmf.ph. Okay. Then you can change your passwords here. And after which you have enter your mobile number and your email. Possible, if you're already in your student portal, we suggest that you eventually change it to your official Astra emails. Okay. Now, what else would you see in your student portal? You would also be able to enter your grade, your student information. Okay, we do fill up the parent and your guardian or your emergency contact, as well as their corresponding numbers. Okay, this is very important for us since we're online, and let's say if especially if you're alone in your room, or in case of an medical emergency, or let's say it's a Zoom proctored exam and we have to reach out through you, uh, we do require you. The better word is we require you to have this filled up. Okay, your parent, your guardian, your emergency. Okay. For your enrollment tab, that would display the information on your current enrollment, such as your section, your tuition fee, your balance. The subject tab would display the subjects that you are currently enrolled in for the current semester. You will be also able to click on the permit to pay button. This would display a printable permit to pay form. Okay, when you need to pay your tuition fees and your installments, as well as your CON. Okay. So other things in your student portal will be your grades. So you'll be able to see the list of grades, the grades that you have. And for the senior high school, they would have a similar form for their report cards. Now, after which, sadly, we don't have face-to-face access, but on campus, if you're on campus, you would have Wi-Fi access, and you would get it here through this, also through your student portal. Now, for your Moodle quizzes and exams, the actual process of your exams, I'll go through it later when we're in Moodle, but you'll be able to see whether you submitted your answers or not. Okay. And so you'll be able to verify if you correctly submitted your answers during a quiz or during an exam. Um, Next to that will be your books and materials tab. You would be able to see all the purchased required learning materials. Most of your learning materials, these may be textbooks, these may be manuals. These are available online as PDFs. Okay, so the bookstore orders tab will display the order number, the particulars, the order date, the status, and your proof of payment. Okay, your proof of payment can be submitted by clicking on the Submit Proof of Payment tab. Okay, now when you click on View, it's this particular button that would purchased PDF, but you have to select that particular uh, title first before clicking View. You can also download a copy of your purchase. I would also remind you that your learning materials are individually coded to your student ID number upon purchase. Okay, and these will be verified by your faculty with a QR code at the bottom. Okay. So next, this is a new tab for the student and personal services. Here for the following forms, after coordination with your SAPS chair or your student academic performance committee coordinator. For the first years, your coordinator is my committee member, Dr. Mary Ann Bringas. She's also the department head for the biochemistry and nutrition. Okay, so here, hopefully wala naman sa inyo magli-leave of absence, authorized withdrawal, return from leave of absence, or filing of exit clearance. But you can find it here in your student personnel services tab. Okay, so let's move on. I think you already know how to Zoom because you're already here. So okay na yan. Aside from Zoom, since you have access to your Google Meet, diba? Dahil may Google Suites na tayo, you would have access to your Google Meet. Meron na din kayo niyan. You'll be aside from the Google Sheets, Google Docs, so it's there. You would also have a big Google Drive available to you, and this will be yours na legacy account niyan. Once you're there na that particular account will be yours. Okay. Now for your Zoom account, since you're enrolled, you will be given a licensed Zoom account. Okay, while you're enrolled, each account will entitle you to have unlimited minutes for Zoom, and your participants will be a maximum of 300 participants. Okay, so 300 participants. So let's say if you want to schedule a meet with your classmates asynchronously, you can easily do so. Okay. Now, since some of your learning will be done asynchronously and you will be using your Moodle learning management system, it's this one. So let's go through Moodle. Okay. All right. Let's do it again. Okay. There. So your Moodle, it would stand for Modular Object Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. Ang haba-haba niya, no? But we fondly call it as Moodle, right? So to access your accounts, we have two accounts for FEU-NRMF. So this will be moodle.fu-nrmf.ph and moodle.fu-nrmf.edu.ph. Now, although desktop apps and mobile apps are available for Moodle, okay, but we don't recommend this, especially if you're taking an exam. Okay, so preferably if you're taking an exam, you have to access the Moodle servers through a browser. Okay, so you can enter your student portal username using your student ID number and your password. Okay, if it's your first time in Moodle, a user tour for new users will be displayed. Okay, let's go through some topics. Your navigation drawer. So this will be your navigation drawer. It's here at the top. Ito po yan. It's the three lines, or it's formally ibang haba. But we usually would call this a hamburger icon. It's the three lines on top. And once you click on it, it would have a drop-down menu. So you would see it here. It would list down the different Moodle courses that you are enrolled in. Okay, so that's your navigation drawer. To hide it, you just click it again. That would hide your navigation drawer. Okay. Sometimes you would have messaging here on top. You would see there your message have messages either from your classmates or from your faculty. You would see it here on top, and sometimes you would have notifications as well. especially if you have a scheduled assignment or a scheduled exam, you might see some notifications on top. We do suggest that you fill up your profile with your image. We would suggest a clear, good image of you so that we can easily identify you. We suggest that you upload a passport size 2 by 2 colored picture as your profile pic, so your faculty can easily identify you, especially when you're sending messages as well. Okay. So what else for your user menu? So, yun naman na yan, user menu na. So, makikita nyo yung dashboard, your profile, and your grades. It's important with your different subjects. Okay, so you'll be allowed to see grades through this. Okay, as well as the messages. And for you to log out as well. Okay. Now, as to the different courses, and you would see the announcements, you would see the different topics or sections. Okay, here's an example of an assignment. Okay, sometimes your assignments will be time sensitive. It will be only available at a particular time period, so you have to submit your assignments before the deadline. Okay. This is a particular thing that we have to dwell on is your exams and quizzes. Okay. For your quizzes, these are not Zoom proctored. Okay, so yung quizzes, so you can click on the hamburger icon, you would see this. Sometimes on the right side, you would see your calendar and you would see your schedule as well of the different exams or quizzes scheduled for you through Moodle. So you would see it here. Now, how to go to an exam, you can either click on the link through the calendar, but sometimes, aside from that, you might have to click links as well. Okay. Now, here you would see the number of attempts allowed, the time the quiz, when it will preload. Ang ibig sabihin namin ng preload, it's usually a standard of 10 minutes before the first question start. Now, since we are using a fault-tolerant mode, I'll dwell on that later on, but that's the preloading time. Okay, but you have to be there. You have to be on before you preload. Okay, and you would only click the time specifically at the time indicated, not earlier. Okay, you have to follow that particular time. So let's say the exam would allow you to preload at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock lang kayo magte-click, not a second earlier. Okay, it would also show you aside from when the time would start, also the deadline to start, meaning may cut-off time siya. So just like when you're late na hindi ka na makakapasok inside the room, may naka-unmute. Yan yung sinasabi ko, you have to be careful when you're online. Baka kasi kuminsan bigla na-click nyo na unmute. So it would disturb the class or the session or the activities. You have to be careful. Yan, at least may nag-demo na sa atin. Now, aside from the deadline to start, so if I came in late after the deadline, you cannot enter the exam or you cannot take the exam anymore. So you have to be aware of the deadline. Paano kung may technical issues kayo? That's why it's important that you have to inform your faculty that you have an ongoing internet problem or power interruption. Telegram or through the SMS helpline. So that's important, guys. Okay. So it would also show you when the time will close or finish. Okay. So alam nyo yung time limit niya. Okay. So next, don't worry. Sabihin nyo, Do, paano yan? Nakakatakot. Don't worry. The online learning committee will schedule a practice session for you. So we'll do it now online. We'll be online through Zoom to guide you through the exam process. Okay. So we'll do one first on how to take a quiz, a Moodle quiz, and probably 2 weeks before your Zoom proctored exam, we'll do another session for Zoom proctoring simulation. Okay, so don't worry. Okay. Another thing is So basically what you're looking at, it's a course book. Okay, ito na yon. You have your table of contents. So it's a multi-page resource book. Okay, that would contain chapters and sub-chapters. So you would just see it here. You can just easily navigate it on the right side of the column. Okay. But the question is, Doc, since we're online and synchronous, how can we communicate with our faculty or other classmates? Well, you can use a forum. Some Moodle courses will utilize a forum. It's a social space where you can interact with your faculty. You can discuss course materials. You can use that, or you can use the messaging function in your Moodle. And what we often would use is Telegram. Okay. I'll show it to you later, or sige na, demo na natin right now. Sige, I'll switch here. So this is a QR code. It's a Google form. So if you can just screenshot it, or now, if you don't have access, or if you have your camera apps open, just open it, scan the QR code. It's a Google form. It's a guided installation on how to install Telegram. And the last page will be how to join the Moodle helpline. So it would be easy for you. Okay. Don't worry, don't fret. I gave it to your student council presidents para maka ano. And I'll also post it in your Moodle course. Okay. So let's go back. How to prepare for an online exam? Ano bang kailangan natin doon? Just like a regular exam, syempre dapat alam mo yung schedule mo, kailan mo siya iti-take, di ba? So just like what I said, it has to be on the dot. Kung ano yung declared start time, doon lang kayo mag-click. Eh, Doc, kailangan ba lahat kami, all 200, ilan ba batch nyo, right? From 200 plus. All 200 of us, do we really have to log in at the same time na strictly 8 o'clock? Hindi naman. If your preloading time is 10 minutes, you can from 8, let's say if it's 8 o'clock, so 10 minutes, you can log in from 8 o'clock to at least mga 8:09. Okay? That will be for quizzes. But if it's a Zoom proctored exam, kung ano yung declared Zoom proctoring time, you have to be online right away. Okay? Now, you would also have a countdown timer. Kasi paano nga ako nga malalaman, Doc, how will I know if I still have enough time? You will see a countdown timer. Okay? Now, this countdown timer, the first timer that you will see will show you how much time you have left. Okay? So once it's 0, the first question will appear already. Synchronized siya for everyone, for the whole batch taking the exam. So walang mauuna, walang mauhuli. Okay? Now next, your exams will be given in a sequential mode. So one question per page. This is given in a sequential manner. So meaning, pagka-click nyo na next, your question will be locked in. Doc, specific pa yung time namin to answer the question? Hindi. You're given a certain amount of time, so it's up to you on how to budget the time in answering questions. Okay. Submissions of answers after answering all your questions. You can click on the summary of attempt, or you can just submit all and finish. Okay. Can you go back to your previous question? Sadly, since you're taking your exams in a sequential mode, hindi na, locked in na siya. Okay, so currently that's the default setting for your exams. It's in a sequential mode. Next, Doc, since online to, paano if I lose my internet connection o magkaroon ng power outage when taking a quiz on an exam? To address the power issue, that's why we're recommending the use of laptops, because your laptops would still have batteries as reserve. Unlike if you're using a desktop, even though you're using a UPS or uninterrupted power supply, it only would have a limited amount of reserve. Usually 30 minutes to 1 hour long yon. Yeah. Unlike your laptop, would last you about 2 hours. That's why ang recommendation namin is that you use a laptop. Now, paano naman kung nawalan ako ng internet connection? Our Moodle system uses a customized fault-tolerant mode. What does this mean? kahit mawalan kayo ng internet connection because your questions are already preloaded into browsers. So nakapasok na siya sa browsers nyo. Okay? So you'll be able to continue answering your questions kahit nawalan kayo ng internet connection as long as you were able to preload it. Okay? I hope that's clear. But it's also important that you do not refresh the page. Okay? Hindi siya pwedeng i-refresh yung page kasi nga mawawala yung preloaded questions nyo. So please do not refresh if ever you lose your internet connection. Now the exam module will try to save your answers to the server every time you click next. Pero sometimes you would see something in red. Especially makikita nyo itong red button na to. This would tell, or red prompt. This would tell you that your answers are, submission of your answers are failed, or yung failure ka mag-save ng answers mo. So what do? You can just continue answering. But ang best practice na sinasuggest namin, if you see this, or if you see orange boxes in your quiz navigation panel, it's here on the right, you have to inform us right away. Okay, ask for help na. Okay, ask for help. How will you ask for help? You can message us in Telegram. If it's an unproctored exam. Okay, hindi siya Zoom proctored exam. Pero pag Zoom exam, nasa helpline, naka-Zoom tayo to. We'll go through that later. Paano nga yun? Hindi namin na-save. Hindi namin na-save sa server kasi hindi kami wala kami internet connection. You can eventually download your answers. This will be downloaded in an encrypted file. Okay, so you can click on download, and later on you can send it to the IT staff. Okay, for the IT staff currently, ang laging on during office hours is Miss Alexa Pincas and Miss Jasper Magat. Makikita nyo naman may prefix na IT sila before their names. Okay, so you can search them in the helplines, or you can also message me, Dr. Bautista, Dr. Bringas, Dr. Abisamis, and Dr. Santo Domingo if you need help. Okay, so Dr. Santo Domingo is also will be your professor for biochemistry and nutrition. Okay, so you just click on save the responses, yung backup niya. Okay, if you are out of the time limit, you should send the file to the IT using Telegram or email. Okay, you can email it to us. Now, since this is an encrypted file, do not try to double check. Ay, tama ba yung answers ko? Baka kailangan ko palitan? Hindi. This is an encrypted file. Please do not tamper with that file. If you tamper with that particular file, mako-corrupt yung data, may exam mo. So it's okay just to download it and send it through us. Okay? You have to also notify your faculty proctor na disconnect kayo. Pero paano nga, Doc? Bigla ako nag-reconnect, bumalik yung internet connection ko. Once you click next, you would see your orange boxes. It will automatically turn into gray. Once your boxes in the quiz navigation panel are in gray, that means your answers are already saved in the server. So, pwede na yon. You don't have to fret anymore. Wag na mag-panic. Chill lang. Okay? Now, other exam reminders. Click natin yon. Ayan. So, again, you have to log in early for your Moodle. Hindi, especially some of your shifting exams will be as early as 7 in the morning. So, you really have to wake up early. Please don't wait for us to call you, wake you up, ha? Okay? Some faculty would be very kind in doing that, but please don't do that. Okay, please wake up early, set an alarmer. Or ang suggestion ko nga sa inyo is have a buddy-buddy system. Just to make sure na if he's there, if he's online na, check on him. Or okay ka na, online ka na, gising ka na. Oh, yeah. So just to make sure that you're on time, okay, for your exam. Now, again, just to emphasize is that you cannot use your mobile app, your Moodle mobile app to take your exam. We do not encourage this. Questions kasi madaling mag-appear, but sometimes yung images, it doesn't appear well, or sometimes yung formatting, hindi siya nagde-display ng maganda. Okay? Especially if your subject with questions or long question stems, hindi siya magdi-display na maayos. Kaya ang suggestion namin is to use a browser. Okay. Other reminders, please avoid using two tabs open for the same exam. Okay. Magkakain lang siya sa bandwidth and you might be confused as well. To avoid the examination from crashing, do not open any other browsers, tabs, applications that will use the internet so that all internet resources will be allocated exam. And the IT department will implement for this school year an alert system that it will alert us if you opened another browser during an exam. So kahit yung mga seniors ngayon nag-google ito because this is the first time that we're announcing it, that an alert will prompt the IT department. It will be recorded that you opened another browser during an exam. Okay, so please do not open any other browsers during an exam. If you must switch to a new or device, you have to inform your IT proctor or your faculty first. Okay. You can also ask somebody to reset the router, but this was during the non-proctored exams. But exams, you have to ask permission first. Okay. And you can verify if you correctly submitted all your answers, if your answers were submitted using the student portal. Okay. I guess that will be it. Now, as to the committee, so just to introduce the committee lang, so the committee, so I'm the chair, Dr. Bautista is my co-chair, Dr. Abringas, Dr. Abisamis, and Dr. Santo Domingo. Have the Chief Information Officer for FEU-NRMF, Mr. Joaquin Jose Reyes, but you would see him in Telegram. We fondly call him as Sir JB. So you would know JB in the Moodle helpline. Okay. Now, for the Zoom proctoring guidelines, ito lang, mag-shift lang tayo dito. So for your Zoom proctoring guidelines, ang requirement lang dito, syempre, proper decorum during the exam. Ang exam duration nyo will follow the approved scheduled time from the BPAA, from the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Kung ang time niya is 7 o'clock, Doc, parang 7:30 pa naman mag-start yung exam. Pwede ba akong 7:30 na lang mag-log in? Hindi. So, if it's a Zoom proctored exam, kung ano yung exam schedule, yun yung declared start time, dapat online na kayo sa Zoom. Okay? So, again, you have to wear appropriate clothes. Alam nyo na yan. You have to be on time. Okay? Magsiset-up na kayo. Dapat, pag naka-online na kayo, naka-setup na kayo. Hindi kung kailan nag-online kayo, tsaka lang kayo mag-aayos ng setups nyo. Alright? Now, only the Moodle exam page should be open. No other apps or programs should be open. And preferably go to the bathroom before the exam starts. All right. Next, you have to remove distractions. Pillows, blankets are not allowed. Allow pillows kapag finish na kayo sa exams. Okay. Bakit Dok, matutulog kami sa exams? Because you cannot lag out. Even if you already submitted your exam, tapos na kayong sumagot, nag-submit na kayo, but you're still being Zoom proctored. Okay? Kaya bawal yung bawal mo nang mag-log out sa Zoom. So you have to be still there. So we do allow you to use pillows if you want to take a nap after you submitted your exam. Okay? Now both hands should mean at all times. You cannot cover your face. Especially for ladies or guys, meron na din mahaba ang buhok, pandemic hair. The hair should be tied at the back. You cannot touch your phone nor leave the seat unless allowed by your proctor. Okay? For questions or problems, the student must raise their hand or notify the proctor first. So, Doc, pwede ba yung raise hand button? Hindi po. You have to literally raise your right hand. Okay? Now, if you are in fault tolerant mode, please check if you are still being Zoom proctored. Now, after finishing the exam, you still have to keep that tablet open. Dito may tablet pa. Pero ang suggestion ko sa inyo guys is to use it, okay, as much as possible and leave it uncovered. You are not browse, chat on your exam device or any other electronic devices kahit tapos na kayo may exam. Printed materials are also not allowed during an exam. Okay? And siyempre, we're training you to be doctors, so no smoking is allowed. Any form of smoking is not allowed during a Zoom proctored exam. Okay? Ano babubukan namin for Zoom proctored exam? The students must have, you must have a phone camera setup on a tripod or a phone stand placed at the 3 o'clock, okay, which is on your right, or the 9 o'clock on your left. Imagine yourself that you're in the middle of a clock tapos yung hands nyo naka-extend left or right. Okay? So preferably the 3 o'clock position. The examinee, the computer yung keyboard, saka yung table surface nyo should be always seen at all times. Okay? Kapag Android phones, sadly may peculiarity si Zoom right now. So Android phones should be mounted horizontally, nakahiga, while iPhones should be mounted vertically. Okay? iPad tablets or laptops are not proctoring devices. Okay? Only phones, only smartphones. Okay? Unless may prior approval kayo ng online learning committee and your SAPSI coordinator. Okay? So you have to inform us. Let's say kung masira ba yung phone mo, biglang nabasag ba siya or what, you have to inform us first. Especially if it's a Zoom exams. Because these are pre-scheduled. Okay? So dapat alam namin beforehand. Okay? So paano yung setup nyo? Just to give you a visual idea, this is how it would look like. So your Zoom proctoring device, which is your smartphone, is placed at the 3 o'clock. It will have a view of your table, your laptop screen, your keyboard, and you, of course. You should be within frame. Now, you should disable phone notifications and set it to do not disturb. Okay, phones should be within arm's reach so that the proctor's instructions can be here. You can hear it well. You have to plug in your or charger. So yun ang kailangan yung i-prepare na setup. Aside from your smartphones, tripods, have good cables as well ha. Sometimes yung mga generic cables may topak especially for the Apple devices. If you are in a warm environment, we do advise removing the case to prevent your phone from overheating. Okay? Other required setups, make sure that your phone is not facing an open, bright window or light. An example for you to understand, it's just like taking a picture na against the light, di ba? Parang in the shadows kayo. So bawal yon. Your phone should be unmuted. Okay? Kaya nga, if you log into Zoom, sometimes you would receive a prompt that the host is asking permission to allow the host to unmute you when joining the meeting. You should always yes. Okay? Kasi nga, pag naka-mute kayo, na-mute namin kayo, let's say, nagbabark yung dog mo, we would mute you temporarily and we have to unmute you. So, para hindi na kayo mahihirapan na mag-unmute pa. Yung display name, ayan, nagawa niyo na to. I'm very happy with that. So, again, walang spaces before and after the dash. Your Astra email accounts must be used for Moodle and Zoom. Okay? And you have to log into your Zoom account on your phone's browser, and you can click on the Zoom proctoring link, or you can enter the meeting ID and the password. Okay, now, Doc, paano pag na-disconnect ako sa Zoom during a Zoom proctored exam? In cases of a Zoom disconnection, a student must reconnect within 5 minutes, otherwise the exam will be invalidated. Okay, meron pa akong dagdag dyan later on, papakita ko sa inyo. Now, again, proper room setup. Nabanggit ko na to kanina. Siyempre, quiet place. Hindi yung movie ha, hindi yung part 2. So, preferably a quiet place. The room should be properly illuminated. You should have adequate lighting na nakikita ka naman ng proctors mo. You have to minimize distractions in the room. So, yung mga pets nyo, mga doggies nyo, cats nyo, sa labas muna. Because this will also distract your other classmates taking the exam with you in that particular breakout room. Now, your table should be clear of necessary objects. Wala muna mga displays, abubots, Funko Pops na nakatambak doon. Wala ding other electronic devices or your notes. So, it should be clear. Mouse pads are discouraged. Okay? It will be only allowed upon approval and upon valid inspection. Pero that's an hassle pa. So we do suggest that you find a good optical mouse that you can use on the table without a mouse pad. You can cover using a blank sheet of cloth to cover any distractions or personal items in your room. Okay. Now your proctors can ask you to pan your room at any time. Okay. We do hope that you cooperate with this. And hopefully wala naman mag-cheat, okay? Just to ensure lang na clear yung space. And next, ito. Okay, hopefully walang umabot sa ganito ha. Grounds for academic dishonesty during Zoom proctored examinations. One, okay, disappear lang ako. Okay, opening a device during an exam, so hindi allowed yon. Next, opening notes while taking an exam. 3, talking to someone or communicating to another person during an exam. Okay? During an exam, bawal ang any smart devices, yung mga Bluetooth headsets, these are not allowed. Smartwatches are also not allowed. Okay? Chatting online during the exam are also not allowed. Okay? So dapat yung Moodle lang ang naka-open sa inyo. No other applications or programs should be open. Okay? Now, kailan naman mai-invalidate ang exams nyo? If it's an unproctored exam, kapag unproctored kayo, meaning during exam, kunyari, usually ang major exams lang naman ang proctored natin, ang Zoom proctored natin. Your first prelims, your midterms, and your finals. Sometimes even your removal exams. Pero sana wag kayo umabot doon. So if you took the exam unproctored, invalid. If you have a single Zoom disconnection of more than 5 minutes, that will also invalidate your exam. Or, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, you have multiple disconnections, each disconnection not more than 5 minutes, but totaling to 15 minutes of the exam time. The IT department will have a monitoring system. We will see whether you're online or offline sa Zoom, and we will measure this. Okay, so you have to be careful. Pero paano yung doc hindi na-invalidate yung exam ko? You will be given a different exam. You'll be given a completion exam if your exam will be invalidated due to multiple Zoom disconnections. Okay. Now, if you finish your exam without Zoom proctoring, that's also an invalidation of your exam. Okay? So, medyo daunting ba? Medyo kinakabahan ba ang mga freshmen ASTRAs namin? Well, that's the end of the presentation, but don't worry. As I said, we'll give you a scheduled simulation for that. A few QR codes lang. So again, this is the guided installation for your Telegram. Next will be the Telegram for your Moodle helpline. Okay, if you have Telegram already. Next is the SMS helpline. Okay, student council disseminate nyo na din to para madali. Alam yung hugot nyo to. And lastly, the IT. Okay, so paano kung may internet concerns kayo, it's after office hours, as long as it's IT related, the IT department through the FB page has an IT on duty 24 hours that will entertain your technical related concerns. Okay? Pero hanggang doon lang ha, wala nang mga relationship na problems. Hindi nakasama yan. Not within their domains anymore. All right? So that ends my presentation. Back to you, Mark and Isa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. D. And thank you rin sa ating participant na nag-sample kanina dahil dyan may napademo tuloy kung ano ba yung instance whenever may nag-unmute. So again, thank you so much, Dr. D, for that very, very detailed orientation about Moodle. So parang ang dami ko palang natutunan sa Moodle today.
Kahit third year na tayo, di ba? Marami pa rin tayong natututunan
In
pala.
our defense naman, transition year din kasi natin yun. Yung from face-to-face to online. So it was very hard for everyone. And I have so much respect for Doc D for, keeping his school in so many days. Grabe, as in freshies.
Yes, po.
Di ba obvious na ubos na buhok ko?
Yes po, Doc D. So sobrang raming salamat po sa inyo.
Welcome.
All right, sir. See you around po. Freshies.
Yep.
Now you know, Dr. D. So now let's continue on with our program. Let us welcome the representative of our FEU-NRMF library, Ma'am Erwina Meneses. Good morning po, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning to all our medicine students. Do sa mga freshmen, welcome. Do sa mga higher levels, welcome back. Yan. So, baka nagtataka kasi yung marami dyan sa inyo. Sabihin sa akin, sasabihin sa FEU, bakit po kami may library fee? Diba? Yan ang isang kino-question. Madalas, bakit may library fee? Panahon naman ng pandemic. Wala naman makakapunta ng school. So, ang libraries ngayon, actually, we have remote service. So, ang library, dadalhin ng school sa inyo. So, not necessarily pupunta kayo dito, isa-service namin kayo remotely. Lahat yan. So, I will share my screen para makita natin kung how the library works today. So, here. Wait lang. Wait ha, babalik ako sa top. There. So this is the library guide for the new normal na meron tayo. So ganyan kayo kamahal ni FEU, ganyan kayo gusto i-support ni FEU, kaya kailangan mag-aral kayo mabuti at maging board top notchers, okay? Yun ang aim, always. So, how do we do our remote service? So una, syempre, kailangan remember nyo yung upak natin. Doon sa mga freshmen na parating pa lang, ito yung ila-type nyo, yung koha.feu-nrmf.ph. So ano yung, mas lalabas dyan yung interface ng UPAC. Yun yung Online Public Access Catalog. So dyan, makikita nyo yung resources na nasa loob ng library, yung physical books na nandito sa loob ng library. Meron tayo ngayon mga around 10,000 plus titles na nandyan ngayon sa shelves natin. O baka tanongin nyo naman, ano ngayon? Physical book yan. Anong gagawin namin dyan? Hindi naman kami makapunta sa school. Kaya ito na, iso-service namin sila sa inyo remotely by, ito muna pala yung interface ha. Ganyan yung itsura niya, lalo na yung mga freshmen namin. Yan ang itsura ng interface ng UPAC ng library. So how will we do our service? Ito na siya. First, we do document digitization. So, paano yan? Pag napunta na kayo sa UPAC, alam nyo na yung libro na kailangan nyo. At this time kasi we are in the process pa, we have a project of uploading also the table of contents and indices of the books doon sa UPAC para matulungan kayo to search mas particular yung pages na kailangan nyo. So ano na, document digitization. So ganito yan. Pag na-identify nyo na yung libro na kailangan nyo, you will fill up a form, yung document request form. Siyempre, lalagay nyo yung name nyo, yung title ng libro, yung call number, yung pages na kailangan. And then we will process it for you. Meron kami ngayon dito mga overhead magka-capture ng images, pwede sa PDF format na yon, tapos ipapadala namin sa inyo. Okay? So yan yung document digitization. Kumbaga, i-digitize namin yung part ng libro para sa inyo. O reminder. Baka naman sabihin sa akin, ma'am, pwede magpa-digitize ng buong libro. Hindi pwede. Bawal yun ha. Bawal. Kasi mahuhuli kami sa copyright law. Bawal yun. So may batas din kaming sinusunod on digitizing books, di ba? So para lang kayo nagpa-photocopy, pero ngayon i-digitize namin yan sa inyo. Next naman, so since allowed naman siguro na kayo makapunta sa library kahit lumabas sandali, you can do the curbside pickup. Ito siya, pag na-identify nyo naman na yung libro, you will inform us kung ano yon. Then you can go to the library para lang kaming drive-thru. Kunin nyo lang yung libro, out na kayo. Hindi kayo pwede magstay, hindi rin kayo pwede mag-browse ng collection. So dapat identify nyo yung book and then inform us kung kailan kayo pupunta at saka anong time, anong day, and then pick up nyo lang siya and then out na. Pero reminder lang din here ha, pag nag-borrow kayo ng book, meron din yung due date. So kailangan ibabalik nyo rin siya kasi kung hindi magkaka-fine naman kayo. So, that is how we service yung physical collection na meron ang library. So, there. So, here, ang in-aim kasi talaga ng FEU-NRMF is to bridge the gap between the information that we have here in the library papunta sa inyong students, sa aming mga dear students, mga clients namin kayo ngayong time ng pandemic. So kailangan natin ma-bridge yung gap na yon. Kaya merong ganitong klaseng remote service. Pero syempre nga, as I've said, kailangan naman natin mag-follow rin talaga sa mga rules ng government at saka rules ng FEU when we do this. Tapos next naman, aside from the physical books, meron ding mga databases o mga electronic resources naman na inacquire si FEU-NRMF para tulungan kayo ngayong remote learning mode nyo. So, ito wala muna, wait, sorry. Ito yung QR code for the document request form. Makikita nyo yan sa FB page ng library. So, yung guys, kayo dyan na hindi pa nagla-like ng FB namin, i-like nyo na siya. Para makita nyo yung ibang kailangan nyo rin from the library. So here, yung remote access. Ano yung remote access? This is the single sign-on portal. So application yan. In-acquire din yan ni FEU para pa mas mapadali yung pag-search nyo ng databases naman natin. Kasi ilan yung databases na in-acquire ni FEU. Pag wala yung remote access, you will have to remember lahat ng username and password niyan para nyo siya ma-access. So baka ang mangyari niyan, tamarin na kayo. Login na naman kayo dito, login kayo dun sa isa. So baka tamarin kayo. So ang ginawa is talagang we acquired remote access para magkaroon nga kayo ng single portal access para sa mga databases na yan. Next naman, ito yung pinaka-importante sa atin para kayo maka-access ng databases ng library, lalo na sa freshmen natin ha. Please email us these following details. Email niyo yung full name niyo, student number, updated contact number, yung Astra email niyo, 1-by-1 picture at saka yung certificate of matriculation. Yung updated contact number, syempre kailangan namin yan para kung just in case nanghiram kayo ng physical book tapos due date na pala or na overdue kayo. We also remind you kasi we call, usually tinatawagan namin kayo or mini-message namin kayo pag gano'n. Tapos next naman is yung picture. Bakit namin kailangan ng picture? Meron din kasing library management system na ginagamit ang library. So automated tayo halos lahat dyan. Pag pumasok kasi, lalo na sa mga freshmen natin ha, pag pumasok kasi kayo ng library, tinatap nyo lang yung ID nyo, lalabas dun yung picture nyo, para malaman namin kung yung gumagamit ng ID, siya rin yung pumapasok. Kasi your ID is your library card also. So yan naman ang ginawa ng IT ng FEU, in-integrate naman niya para mas madali. Kasi before, ang isang reklamo sa amin was, meron ng ID, meron pang library card, tapos ang daming sinusulatan. So ngayon wala na. Tap lang tayo dito sa library. So kaya kailangan namin yung ID picture nyo. Para malaman namin kung kayo nga yung gumagamit ng ID nyo. Diba, bawal kasing gumamit ng ID ng iba. Tapos yung COM naman, yan yung, syempre para alam namin na enrolled kayo. Tapos number 2, ito naman yung sa subject line request namin to, na pag in-email nyo kami, ganyan yung ilagay yung subject line doon sa subject. This is for us naman to help us na ma-monitor namin kung sino yung kailangan namin gawa ng account at saka para magawa namin efficiently yung work namin ng paggawa ng account nyo. Kasi iniisa-isa namin yan. Tapos after namin kayo magawa ng account, please be mindful of your Astra email. Pag nag-email back na sa inyo si Remote Access, open nyo lang siya and follow nyo lang yung steps on how to create an account para magkaroon kayo ng account sa Remote Access. Next, what are the electronic resources that we have inside the library? Meron tayong ProQuest. So this goes through for senior high hanggang medicine students. EBSCO. Marami rin. Ito may Dynamed dito. So kung aware kayo sa up-to-date, halos pareho rin siya. So meron din pang lahat dito from senior high din to medicine pwede gumamit o may Medline complete pa tayo dyan. Next is yung THEMI. This is a set of electronic books, UK-based na book. Maganda actually yung mga images nito, lalo na kayo yung mga nag-aaral ng anatomy, yan yung mga nakita ko dyan. Mga images na is very colorful. Maganda siyang, tas ma-enlarge na siya, maliliit. So maganda siyang pang-aral talaga. So there. And then next is up-to-date. Up-to-date is a evidence-based clinical decision support resource. So ito talaga yan yung ginagamit ng medicine students, ng doctors natin. Tapos sa pharmacy naman, ang nandyan is yung micromedics niya sa loob. So yung mga drug interaction, meron dyan sa loob, mga drug calculators, meron din dyan sa up-to-date. Plus, ito talaga sa medicine, super. Gagamitin nyo talaga yan. And next naman is yung clinical key. Clinical key is yung database of Elsevier. So marami e-books dyan and may journals. Pero reminder ko lang ha, Elsevier ang nandito. Baka maghanap kayo ng ganitong title tapos ang publisher pala siliping kot. Wala dyan. O, di ba? Wiley, wala dyan. Ito is solely for Elsevier lang siya talaga. Pero marami rin talaga diyang e-books, journals, at saka videos na pwede nyo magamit. Tapos next is U-Central. U-Central is an aggregator of our open resource materials. So syempre, pag nag-search kayo, may binigay na assignment si teacher, type kay Google, search, yon. Marami kayong makikita dyan, di ba? Para mga free lang naman, sasabihin nyo. Pero how sure are you na yung nakita nyo ay reliable? How sure are you na refereed yung mga journals na nakita nyo doon? Pwede nyo naman siyang i-check. Pero to make your life easier, yung U-Central, ina-aggregate na niya yan for us. Kino-collect niya yung mga iba-ibang sources na yan sa open source, tapos ilalagay na niya sa U-Central. Pag nandyan na siya, sure na kayo na reliable and refereed yung mga nandyan. So ito naman reminder namin for clinical key and up-to-date. So you can browse. Once you open the applications there, you can actually browse. But if you want to download, you have to register. So sa upper right-hand corner nung interface, makikita nyo, register or login. Gawin nyo lang yon. Follow nyo lang ulit yung mga instructions doon. And then, pwede na kayo maka-download. So next naman is the face-to-face na. Yan. Paano na pag nag-face-to-face dito? First, syempre, follow tayo ng government and IATF protocols. Basic na yan. Next is yung FEU protocols. Basic na rin yan. So, yung susunod naman is yung library protocols. So, ano yon? So, kunyari, dumating kayo dito. If you're just going to stay in the library for around 5 to 10 minutes, pwede naman kayo mag-stay kasi baka hindi pa pwede doon sa classroom nyo, nagsasanitize pa sa classroom or ano, pwede mag-wait inside the library. But, if you plan to study here for a longer period of time, for example, mga 2 hours, ganyan, or more, meron na kaming ipapa-fill up sa inyo na seat reservation form. So may area kami talaga na i-allot na pang seat reservation na naka-reserve doon. Kasi hindi namin pwede ma-accommodate lahat lang ng gustong pumasok na mag-aaral ng matagal. Kasi we have to follow nga with the government rules. So, dapat monitored namin kung ilan lang ang papasok at this certain time at anong araw. So, dapat nakaano yan. Tapos, syempre, for monitoring din ng if ever, wag naman, na may magkasakit, wag naman. So, dapat alam namin sino yung nakaupo sa seat na to, sino yung katabi niyan, ganon. So, may way kami of monitoring things inside the library. So, yan yon. Next na, last slide ko na to. Ito, hindi pa pala, sorry. Second to the last. Ito yung QR code for the seat reservation. Again, nasa FB page namin yan. And then next is how you can reach us. Ito na yung last page. So, first, syempre, is the email. Ngayon, aabangan namin yung mga email nyo, ha? Kailangan namin yung details na sinabi namin dyan. Remember nyo yon. Next is you can call us. Or lastly is yung FB page namin. Here, kahit after office hours namin, we answer your queries. So kung may mga kailangan kayo dito, mas mabilis kami sumagot actually sa FB, sa Messenger. So yan, don't forget those details. Ngayon naman, we have prepared a video presentation sa inyo, lalo na sa freshies, how the library looked like before, nung 900 seating capacity pa yung kaya namin. Tapos ngayon naman sa inyo, from freshies up to higher level, kung ano yung itsura, a glimpse of how the library looks like now para kami makaservice sa inyo ng remote service. So, I will stop this share and then I will share the next, the video. Bakit walang sound? Wait lang po ah. Sorry, ulitin natin.
Welcome to the Nicanor Reyes Junior Medical Library. As said by the second President of India, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, the library is the heart of an institution. And FEU-NRMF's Nicanor Reyes Junior Medical Library lives up to that notion. As a service-oriented library, it aims to maintain a conducive environment for learning and research, provide quality information and resources, and assist its clientele in the acquisition of knowledge through efficient and reliable service. The library has 3 areas with functional spaces suitable for individual and group learning, having a 900 seating capacity altogether. The 14th floor library houses a big study space and a computer section with 50 computers. Students can freely use it. It also has more than 10,000 physical books, ranging from Filipiniana and medical books to reviewers and thesis. Now, to help everyone find the book they're searching for, anytime, anywhere, the library has an online public access catalog, or OPAC, which can be accessed remotely. Aside from providing tangible resources, the Nicanor Reyes Junior Medical Library offers different electronic resources, which can also be accessed remotely through the remote XS portal. The 12th and lower ground library facilities are home to more study areas. It houses 2 audio-visual rooms, 6 discussion rooms, and 2 big rooms for males and females with individual carrels. Some of these collaborative areas are equipped with smart TVs, suitable for lectures and presentations. Moreover, to accommodate the information needs of the FEU-NRMF community during this new normal, the library has started the document delivery service, where students and faculty members can reserve a specific book for pickup or request a digitized copy of a few pages from a book. In preparation for the limited face-to-face classes, the library adjusted its spaces to cater to the demands of COVID-19 imposed on libraries all over the Philippines. Nicanor Reyes Junior Medical Library, in all endeavors, strives to become a resource and service facility that can meet the Foundation's pursuit of excellence in medical and paramedical education, quality healthcare services, and relevant research. Ad astra per aspera.
There. I hope you liked our video presentation. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, Ma'am Ermina. Thank you so much for making the time to orient our freshman students in spite of the pandemic. Kasi nga, diba, na-mention kanina ni Ma'am Ermina na para saan yung library fee? Eh, hindi naman tayo pupunta ng school. Well, here's FEU-NRMF Library brought to you to your very homes.
Yes, tama. Actually, tama ka dyan, Isa. Maraming salamat po. Pero ask ko lang, Isa, palagi ka bang pupunta sa library?
Magagalit ata si Ma'am Ermina pag nalaman ko anong ginagawa ko doon. Okay, Freshies, let me explain naman. Sa FEU-NRMF Library kasi, sobrang ganda ng ambience and at the same time, it's so conducive for studying, for relaxing. Sobrang conducive na minsan, nakakapahinga ako minsan.
Yes.
Gets yun na yun.
Yes. Actually, tama ka, Isa. And to add to that.
Yes,
Pero
ma'am.
wait, pag matutulog naman, alam ko yon we allow Actually, you can actually inform us. Lalo pag nag-aral kayo the night before, di ba? Pagod kayo. O, yung ibang librarian hindi pumapayag. Kami pumapayag, sasabihan niyo pa kami, Ma'am, 15 minutes nap. Okay, gigisingin pa namin kayo. O, di ba? May ganon.
Yes po, ma'am. And for that po, we are very thankful po, lalo na po sa inyo and sa lahat po ng staff ng library. Ayan, maraming salamat po ulit.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We hope you have a good day po. So, I realized na throughout ma'am's orientation about the library, not only are we our core values na we are very flexible with a lot of things and morally upright, family oriented, etc. But we're also very resilient. Na whenever there's a predicament brought to us, we know how to adapt to these things. Ang galing talaga, napakahusay.
Yes.
Don't you agree?
Of course, Isa. Sobrang napakahusay talaga ng ating admin and ng lahat ng bumubuo ng ating institution.
Ayun. And na-mention nga kanina ni Ma'am Erwina na the FEU-NRMF library will help us become the best students and physicians that we can be. Kaya ayan, 254 participants. Plus one, me, 255. We will be producing 255 top-notchers someday.
Of course,
Tama ba yan?
Isa, naniniwala ako sa faculty or sa bumubuo ng institution natin, again, na kaya natin to lahat.
Okay, so thank you again, FEU-NRMF Library. So for now, we'd like to call on those people who selflessly lend their ears and hear us out. The Guidance Counselor's Office, to be represented by Ma'am Ria Ramos, PhD. Ma'am, are you here po?
Good morning! Good morning,
ma'am! How are you po?
Okay naman. Okay, so
the floor is yours.
Guidance office, no? So the question is, do I need it? Okay. Do I need guidance in the process of dealing with life struggles towards the attainment of one's goal in some way or the other? We all need guidance. Okay, so the Guidance and Counseling Office is one entity in the family circle of the foundation that cares and supports the students, allowing them in the realization of their pursuit of self-awareness and self-actualization. So we envision every individual of FEU-NRMF to be knowledgeable and skilled health practitioners equipped with cognitive, affective, and moral competencies who know and understand themselves and exercise their utmost potentialities and individualities towards their personal development and that of others. To present to you our guidance programs and services, we have the individual planning, responsive, and system support. Okay. For our programs, we have the homeroom guidance, at-risk students empowered, more than a click series, professional development roadmap, our values clarification program, well-being and mental health campaign, Say No to Bullying campaign, Peer, digital literacy in partnership with Digital 360, Unilab Heads Up Philippines, and with Community Engagement Office, our community engagement activities, school-based in-service training for teachers in the delivery of the program. Okay, next. So as part of the Guidance and Counseling Office continuing commitment to provide responsive services to our students through their various concerns and needs in this time of pandemic, we have created an online platform offered, the Online Kamustahan, which aims to sustain a helping relationship with students given the COVID-19 crisis in our country. Specifically, it shall help students understand their current experiences and help them cope with the situation. So if you're interested, okay, here's the online counseling process. Using your Astra email, all you need to do is to accomplish the GCO online Kamustahan form through this link, and then set an appointment with the counselors through email or Telegram and Facebook Messenger. and proceed with intake session with the counselor. You may choose which platform would you like to use via Zoom, Google Meet, Telegram, or Messenger. Okay. So for those who are interested to take some online assessment, okay, all you need to do is to accomplish the GCO testing form through this link and set an appointment with the counselor. Attend the scheduled testing date, and the psychometrician will score and interpret the test, and student will receive the results during the extended intake. Okay. For online referral, okay, again, using your Astra email, all you need to do is to accomplish the guidance referral form and then set an appointment with the counselor and proceed with intake session with the counselor. And for other referral, those students who would like to consult a clinical psychologist and a psychiatrist for further management and evaluation, we can give you contact details of these specialists. Okay. So, are my secrets safe? Okay. So the communication between the counselor and the counselee during counseling is privileged in that the confidence in which it is given will not be violated. Your counselor abides by a vigorous code of ethics, holding the interest of the counselee above all other loyalties, resistant to all external pressures, and we assure that everything will be kept confidential. So what you say in here stays in here, except, okay, someone is hurting you, you would want to hurt yourself, you want to hurt someone, or you give us the permission to talk to a trusted adult. Okay. So who will be there to listen to me? With dedicated and sensitively understanding guidance personnel, the department services become effective tools in directing students to improve their personal substance. So earlier you met during the presentation of Dr. Dean de los Reyes, we have our student personal services chairman, Mrs. Rodora C. Santa Ana. She's a licensed psychologist and licensed guidance counselor. And then yours truly, Rhea Ramos, and our other personnel here in the guidance office, Ms. Camille Balbuena, a registered psychometrician, Ms. Elora Lopez, a registered psychometrician, and our guidance personnel, Ms. Divine Grace Aguia. FEU-NRMF in partnership with UNILA Foundation will be providing you a copy of this toolkit, Building Resilience in the Time of Crisis. So don't worry, we will send you a copy of this to your Astra email. Okay, so we would also like to invite those students who are interested to become peer volunteers. Okay, you may reach us through offline platform by calling 898-8338, local 1009. You may also send us email, okay, at guidance@feu-nrmf.edu.ph. And you may also reach us through Telegram at FEU-NRMF Guidance. And you may also like and send us message through Facebook page. Thank you so much at welcome sa inyong lahat dito sa FEU-NRMF Ad Astra Perespe.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry po. Did we pronounce your name right? Is it Rhea or Rhea po?
It's Rhea. Rhea.
Rhea. Okay, students, again, this is Ma'am Rhea. I just want to share, Mark, you know, last semester I really struggled, and at some point I felt like I didn't want to approach my friends because they had their own mountains to cross, and I didn't want to burden them. But then I was actually, I had a small chat with Ma'am Camille. Tapos online pa yun na. Talagang they're very reachable, and I appreciate the guidance office so much. And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here today for all we know. So maraming salamat po, Ma'am Rhea, for all the efforts that you do, for the time that you also allotted for us here today and this morning. So thank you very much, Ma'am Rhea.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you to our administrators for that enlightening orientation.
On top of that, again, to all our administrators, your time, your forbearance, your patience, and dedication in working things out in this pandemic with us, your students. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Mabuhay po kayo. And now, freshies, no? The moment you've all been waiting for. Yan. Alam ko marami nang gutom sa inyo. No? Actually, Isa, gutom ka na ba?
Medyo. Slight lang naman.
Yeah. Pero sorry guys, hindi pa natin lunch break. No? But we have a
special giveaway.
From
Le Fleur Cafe, a drip coffee set and a limited edition shirt. Again, guys, limited edition shirt. In fact, it's called the Anavo for you freshmen from Tamaraw MD. So, may we please request our tech team to flash ang ating mahiwagang Wheel of Fortune so that we can find out who our first lucky winner is.
Yes.
For the winner of the limited edition shirt from Tamaraw MD, we have
congratulations to
Joanne Colleen P. Manuel. Are you here?
Hello, Joanne.
Hello po.
Yan.
Hello.
Congratulations, Joanne. So, Joanne, from what section are you in?
From section B po.
All right. Congratulations, Joanne. We hope you will like your shirt. Okay?
Thank you po.
All right. So next, for the drip coffee set from Le Fleur Cafe, our lucky winner is 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Sigrid Diane D. Pangilinan. Are you here, my dear friend? Hello, good morning. From what section are you from?
I'm from 1C.
1C. All right. Congratulations, Sigrid Diane D. Pangilinan. We hope you like your gift.
Yeah, and so congratulations to our winners in the first half of our program. Pero stay tuned kasi we have more for later.
In fact, may pa-major prize pa.
Yes.
All right, so we, the council, together with Batch 2025, would like to thank our guest speakers, starting with President Antonio H. Abad, Dr. Magdalena Natividad, Dr. Ray H. De Los Reyes, Dr. Robert D. From the FEU-NRMF Library, Ma'am Erwina Meneses, and the Guidance Office, Ma'am Rhea Ramos. On behalf of everyone in this event, we all thank you and adore you for joining us in today's morning program. All right? So, for our winners nga po pala, Ma'am Joanne, Miss Joanne, and Miss Sigrid, please message our MSC Treasurer. You can find her on the participants list. April Caballas, she will be reaching out to you if ever in. You can claim your prize to her or you can coordinate with her regarding how to claim your prizes. All right?
Okay, but the fun's not over yet, freshies, no? In fact, your roller coaster ride within the very unpredictable shackles of medicine has only just begun.
In short, my afternoon session.
Of course, Isa.
And we're looking forward to seeing all of you there, freshies. That being said, once again, this is Anavo, a fresh start. Friendly reminder, kindly use the same link for the afternoon session. See you all later, freshies.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Astras. And keep